Here's Bronico. Ooh. Well, that will likely be reviewed.
That's more of a yellow than the other one was. It's most certainly a second yellow, and here it comes.
Welcome to Instant Replay for MLS Matchday 5. I am Andrew Wiebe with the pro, Christina Unkel, a former FIFA referee. No big deal. We're hitting the most controversial calls in Major League Soccer. Christina, 2 words.
Go Huskies!
Pardon me while I gag and reminisce on the national championship that the Kansas Jayhawks won last year. Nevertheless, we start in Charlotte. 23rd minute, Bronico coming in hard, Christina, on Omir Fernandez. This is straight leg. It's just below the knee. It's studs. It's not a yellow card. It's not a red card. Luis Guardia, the VAR, does not recommend review. And I am absolutely puzzled. I'm shocked. This is a red card. This is serious foul play. This should be called.
Now, Wiebe, you're correct. This should be called. Football expects this. This isn't really what, and I hate to use the word, a textbook red card, right? Because we don't want these in the game. You hit it on the head, studs, speed, force, intensity. It's not glancing, it's going through his leg. These have the possibility of breaking someone's leg. We need to stamp these out of these games. So if this decision is missed on the field, it needs to be caught by the VAR and recommended down for a clear and obvious error. The part for me as a VAR that would trigger that maybe my referee didn't fully see it and appreciate it is that no misconduct was issued. No yellow card was issued. So if I was the VAR and I'm sitting here saying, this is red, and if I was waffling, then at least it has to be yellow. Not that you're recommending it for yellow, but if your referee's not giving anything on this, then the reality is he probably didn't see it. Send it down. You have red. Should have been a recommendation for red card, serious foul play.
It was a busy one in Charlotte. We're going with another potential red card that was not called. 64th minute, Derek Jones goes up into a challenge with Cameron Harper of the Red Bulls. Jones leads with his arm, with his elbow, I would say, Christina. And I see that little cocking action, that push forward that says to me that this is violent conduct.
Yeah, and our awareness needs to be heightened anytime we have challenges, especially aerial challenges. But what is the individual doing with their arm? Many of the questions are tool versus weapon, but here you have the arm, you have it braced, you have it coming forward, you have it coming through, going into the player. For me, this is another missed red card. Yeah,
Harper is not able to defend himself in this position, not able to brace for it. He's taken this one, the force, way more than negligible, and I agree with you. That motion toward the head, for me, that's the biggest flag there. That should have been a red card, in my opinion. We got 2 more that could have been. Let's start with the Andres Reyes double foul here. Walk me through what you see, Christina.
Yeah, and the first one, Reyes goes ahead and makes that contact, makes that challenge there right in front of the bench. And what it really needs to be is from the back, pulling him down. This is what we want as a yellow card. Doesn't have an opportunity to defend himself, but let it be not too much later, right? And this one is the one that for sure could have been his second yellow card if the first one had been issued, and this one was even more clear. Here we have stopping a promising attack, top of the 18, clearly knows what he's doing, taking him out. Surprised we didn't have a caution on either of them, and it could have gave the potential for a caution on both of them, having once again the potential of yet again another red card.
Speaking of potential, 62nd minute, John Tolkien pushed in the back by Enzo Copetti. Tolkien doesn't like it. As he's sliding out of bounds, he picks up the ball and throws it at Enzo Copetti. Marcus Oliveira gives Copetti a yellow card for the push, and Tolkien gets a yellow card himself, but there's a possibility here that this could be a red card for this ball throw.
Yeah, and anytime you have somebody doing these kinds of actions, right, if the referee would have gone with a red card, I believe that would have been fully supported. Here, because there's maybe not as much force and speed at throwing at the ball, it's not maybe necessarily as violent. Here, the referee has a little bit more of some gray room to be able to manage this through conversation, through talking to Tolkien, but this one's slippery. He got away with another one.
This is one that I'm okay with, unless the ball hits the head. If he hits Copetti in the head, that's a red card. I'm okay with the yellow, but we got to rewind it back. Those other ones, the first 2 in particular, those are red cards in my opinion. I'd like to see those given. All right, let's go to Portland. Galaxy in town, 25th minute. Last week, Galaxy were frustrated about a call that they thought went against them. Some people said this one went for them. Martin Caceres with a last-ditch challenge in the box on Nathan Fagaza. Oh boy, looks like it might have got tangled in there with the feet, but if you look closely from the angle from behind the inline, you can see, watch, slow it down for me, producer Phil. Yes, Caceres gets the ball. He pokes it away with that toe. Good call here by Chris Pinso and his crew, including VAR Jorge Gonzalez. Staying with the LA teams, LAFC hosting Dallas, 18th minute. Edwin Cerrillo thinks he has a goal for FC Dallas. He's certainly celebrating him. Not many of those come for D-mids, but the correct call is made by Lucas Spalla and the referee crew here. VAR Jeremy Rufo flags Spalla and says, hey, I'm seeing a player in John McCarthy, the LAFC goalkeeper's line of sight when the shot is taken. And if you look here, it is crystal clear. This is obstruction. It is no goal. Well done by the referee crew. 32nd minute, Emma Tawasi, going back to our violent conduct discussion on Derek Jones. He goes into a challenge with Sergi Palencia. Palencia goes down, referee calls a foul, gives a yellow to Tawasi, but Jeremy Rufo says, hold on, go to the monitor, I see violent conduct here, and Spalla ends up giving a red card. Do you agree with the call?
I agree with this call. It's very similar to the other one. You have a forearm, you're leading with it, you're going into the player. The player, with all expectation, has his head exactly where it's at, playing the ball in a fair manner. You're not expecting this type of contact coming through you on the blind side that has that propensity of raising and heightening that type of injury to the head. We all know that's a sensitive area. We all know that the repercussions there are high. I like this recommendation by the VAR, and I like the acceptance of the red card here.
All right, one more for this game. Do you like this PK call in the 77th minute? Carlos Vela missed it in the end, banged it off the crossbar, but Siki Sabalang takes him down here. I see the touch, but it was hard to see until you got the right angle.
And Wiebe, you hit it on the head. It's all about angles, angles, angles. Live play, I was like, I'm not really too sure, so I'm good with it. And this is what we want referees to do, not question. If you have some doubt, do not call it. However, as we can see from the camera angle that's essentially behind the goal area looking in, that's the best angle. Good recommendation to send this one down, but glad the referee didn't call on the field, but that's why we have VAR now, to get those angles.
All right, Miami-Chicago, 43rd minute. Bryce Duke takes a shot from outside the penalty area, and the ball strikes Marin Haley Selassie, who seems to be on the edge of the 18. I'm not entirely sure, Christina, whether he's inside or outside. Tori Pinso is the referee here. There's no handball call, and you could argue that this is a natural position for the defender. In fact, the commentators did on the broadcast. I would argue the opposite. When you see from behind the shooter, I think Haile Selassie is holding his arm out. He knows what he's doing. There's only one thing. It's blocking a shot, and I see that little movement out as the shot is taken. I think he made himself bigger. What I don't know is whether he's inside or outside the 18. I'm not even going to try to guess on that. I just don't have the angle.
So what I'm not sold on is whether he's fully making himself bigger. That's justified in that. I know we've talked about shots on goal, and right, doesn't take a lot, and he knows what's going on, so we know he's pretty smart on this, but at the same time, arm's still a little bit closer to his body, lower in the elbow. So because I have doubts, I'm going back and forth. I see the arguments here. For me, I'm not fully sold on a handling offense here, so I would leave it be. But I 100% agree with you. We don't have that angle. Is he in? Is he out? And because of that, VAR can't touch this since we don't have that clear angle, whether it would be a penalty or not. And that's not a reviewable decision if it was a handball outside the penalty area.
Well said. And we finished in the 62nd minute of the Sporting Kansas City-Seattle game. Jordan Morris on a tear in this one. He was helped by a second yellow to Ben Sweat, and it is a very obvious second yellow. Well done to referee Alex Chilwitz. Ben Sweat not playing the ball, takes down the Seattle player to stop a potential counterattack. This, for me, is by the book. Well done to the referee crew there. If you have any thoughts on how we interpreted the calls this week, you can always hit me up on social media or get into the comments. For Christina Unkel, for our producer and editor, Phil Levanco, for Rich Hernandez, back from his honeymoon, I'm Andrew Wiebe. We'll see you next time.